So, New Zealand. It's home of the All Blacks, flat white.
And murderous hell demons ready to pounce on you, shred off your skin and eat your brain.
Today I'm investigating the misty world of New Zealand cryptids. Some are based in legend, some are based in reality, and some are most definitely your mate Damo in a ghillie suit that he bought off Timu. Welcome to the only documentary brave enough to ask the question, could you beat a moa in a fight? Let's find out. Imagine a majestic eagle. Now imagine it being in its mid-40s and bored with life. Now imagine it's on steroids, hitting the gym most days and committed to the carnivore diet.
Okay, you can stop now.
Imagine it's the size of a dining room table and can punch a hole through your skull with its razor-sharp beak.
Oh no.
Now it's flying around your neighbourhood, picking up the kids from school, not because you asked it to. Congratulations, you've just met the Hustagle, New Zealand's very own prehistoric sky assassin. This bird wasn't just the biggest eagle to ever exist, it was basically a flying velociraptor in a stylish feathery cloak. It lived in the South Island around 600 years ago, and it feasted on moas. The Māori even called it potakai, which loosely translates to
Get I'm not going outside today, Rangi.
European scientists first discovered its bones in the 1870s, and instead of screaming and calling a priest and then setting the site on fire, they named it after Julius von Haast, the man who pieced it all together. Now, for the real science. Could you take on the Hustagle in a one-on-one brawl? Let's be realistic. I'm soft, unarmoured, probably wearing gumboots and a swan dry. The eagle is 18 kilos of flying fury, with claws like Wolverine, and the attitude of a magpie during the nesting season. Unless you've trained for years in one-on-one falcon wrestling or are made of steel reinforced swan dry, you're dinner, man. You lose. The moa, a towering, feathered freak show of nature. Some species grew to 3.6 metres tall and weighed about 230 kilos. That's heavier than your average rugby front row, and just as aggressive in a free buffet line. These birds evolved without predators, living its best life throughout all of New Zealand. Then along came humans, early Polynesian settlers, who probably took one look at these oversized drumsticks and went,
Righto, Ralpo, that's dinner sorted for the next month or so.
Then they got a taste for it, so they hunted the moa out of extinction around 1425 AD. These fat hooers were mainly herbivores. Their diet consisted of leaves, twigs, berries, and whatever else they could shove into their silly little bird faces. They couldn't fly, but they could run really fast. But the real question, could you beat a moa in a fight? Let's break it down with science. Me, 85 kilos of soft tissue, sweaty, underhydrated, and probably carrying a pocket knife. The moa, 230 kilos, legs like tree trunks, no arms, 3 claws on each foot, and no idea what's happening. So, your best tactic is to probably confuse it. Wave a reflective object at it, play guitar, maybe read some poetry, pretend to be a bigger moa, or, if that fails, give it the old sidestep, then slide in behind and trip it up. Then, when it's on the ground, get it in the chokehold until it passes out. Cut it up and serve it up for dinner. Gordon Ramsay would be proud. If you're quick and semi-confident, you have a decent chance. So, the Goatman is New Zealand's answer to Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster, except with way more leg hair and hoofs. Legend says the Goatman haunts rural back roads, dense bush, and random farmyards, appearing mostly at night, usually when someone's regretting not locking their back gate. Stories started popping up in the late 20th century, often told around campfires, usually after a couple too many spades. Some say he's a cursed farmer, others say that he's a shape-shifting demon goat sent to punish the unruly. But one thing's for sure, he's a nightmare for anyone who's fond of a goat curry. So, what does the Goatman do all day? Probably a lot of goat-like things and errands, I guess. Grazing on your neighbour's prized roses, feasting on tin cans, climbing impossible hills like a hairy mountain goat ninja, and probably yelling indecipherable goaty curses at passing cars.
What was its diet?
Mostly humans, bones, and the cells of young children, I guess. And then for its micronutrients, it preferred grass, shrubs, and tasty forest berries. But could you beat the Goatman in a fight? Well, you, probably armed with a torch and a can of insect repellent and a MacPack puffer jacket. The Goatman, on the other hand, is 7 foot tall, horned, smells like staglands, and probably angry about your lack of edible body parts. Well, you have opposable thumbs and a willingness to live. The Goatman has horns, height, and the ability to stab you into heaven. Your best plan? Respect the Goatman's personal space, avoid eye contact, maybe leave him some little goat snacks to bribe him, play some Pantera or Slayer. The Tuanfar is New Zealand's most iconic cryptid, a creature from Māori mythology that's part guardian spirit and part health and safety monitor. Depending on the iwi and the location, the Tuanfar might be a friendly protector who watches over the tribe and stops kids from getting eaten by eels, a vengeful beast that eats trespassers and causes landslides, or a weird shape in the water that your uncle saw once while he was hunting for some tuna. How does your average Tuanfar live? Well, first of all, they don't pay rent. Tuanfars lived in deep rivers, caves, lakes or swamps. Some are said to eat humans, but others were known to fall in love with them too. But could you beat the Tuanfar in a fight? You, wearing gumboots, illegal fishing rod in hands, and forgot your towel probably. The Tuanfar, 12 metres long, can hold its breath for days, and probably controls the weather. Your fight tactics? Splash water in its face, and maybe throw a rock. The Tuanfar, death roll, snaps every bone in your body, and then slurps you up like a tasty treat. Your best strategy? Make yourself emotionally unavailable. Don't text it, ghost it, move towns, block all the rivers with dams. The Mohow Man is New Zealand's most legendary mountain dweller, our very own Bigfoot. It's said to roam the Mohow ranges of the Coromandel Peninsula. Think Yeti, but with a much stronger appreciation for the great outdoors and probably a wicked tan from all the bushwalking. Stories date back to the early European settlers and local Māori tales, describing a large, hairy, bipedal creature that leaves behind massive footprints and a distinct smell that can only be described as a wet dog meets a pine forest. The Mohow Man is basically me, but with more back fur. He's said to live deep in the bush, mostly avoiding humans, but occasionally stepping out for a midnight snack. Probably whatever's handy. Berries, a wandering tramper, a scout that got lost, maybe the odd rabbit. He's not picky. Rumour has it, the Mohow Man enjoys mushrooms, meditation, and unveiling the interconnected secrets we all share with the universe. But could you take down the Mohow Man if he started shit with you in the bush? Well, he's big and hairy and probably stronger than your average rugby player after a World Cup win. But here's the catch. He's also super elusive and likely to disappear before you even get a chance to say, "Come at me, bro." Well, you have two options. Run like the wind, or offer him a cone and a sandwich and just hope that he's hungry. Well, I'd probably avoid a fight, unless you want your next bushwalk to end like the Blair Witch Project. So if you like that video, and you learnt something, you might like these other videos I'm suggesting here, or maybe this one up here. And drop me a like down here, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one.